That is true.
We might have one of those later.
Whoa, wait a
Hey.
Hey.
Artie's getting lucky.
No. So I wore this Christmas shirt.
Mine is these two guys that actually
Yeah.
work out.
It's
I feel
green.
bad for when me and Dave take our clothes off.
Oh boy. But I didn't want us to all wear black shirts again.
I'll
So
do that.
that's why I have a green shirt on.
Hey, fair enough.
Hey, that was a one-time occurrence, okay? Nobody thought that was gonna happen.
Well, is that the new one? What's
No, this is
I have that.
I got this at NXT Philly.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I wore this one last time, so
There you go.
I'm gonna have a consistency. I'll just be like, wear the same thing every
Yeah, it's like
tornado
extra.
tag.
Alright. So
Everybody
we're
look to your
a
left.
little behind on
What's
the Facebook.
Everybody look to your left.
What? Oh. I have, you can see my blondes and then it just disappears.
Alright, so hi everyone and welcome to Tornado Tag episode 2. Sweet.
Too sweet.
I love it. So this is our second episode. Same cast as before. We have a lot bigger table, a little bit of a different look if you've seen from the other shows. We did the pop culture show with this new table. MMA, not so much because there was only two of us. Did the interview with my father the other day. Went really, really well. I got a little emotional during it, so I almost choked up a little bit. So don't make fun of me for crying.
It's okay.
I didn't cry fully, but it was really close. But yeah, so that's coming out Friday at 12. I just finished the editing last night. So that comes out Monday, so be on the lookout for that. First order of t-shirts we just went through. I'm actually picking them up Friday. So check out the, it's RDMR Customs, I believe. I have to look at that again, but they do a great job. Really, really good dude. I'm actually picking them up tomorrow, so the next show you will see the t-shirts and hoodies in action. Anyone who's interested, they are $25 a shirt, $45 a hoodie. If you're saying they're expensive, you're helping literally local business and you're helping a local podcast get better so we can get better equipment, so I'm not pulling my hair out every episode. So yeah, we're going to talk about some professional wrestling. When it comes to the side of main roster, there's not really much to talk about because it has been very
We
lackluster.
can talk about awful Raws.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's
Let's not waste our breath.
2 in a row, and then the last wasn't so bad,
Mhm.
but the 2 were awful.
Yeah.
Awful. And let's start with the Seth Rollins promo that everyone says is Vince McMahon just saying how awful Raw is.
Yeah,
Pretty
it
much.
was-
That's the nail in the coffin right there. Is when you have your top star
Yep.
cutting a promo on how bad your product is right
Yeah,
now.
but blaming it on Baron Corbin.
And
Yeah.
it's all Baron's fault. It's all Baron Corbin.
He wrote it. I mean, it's like you have 300 dudes on the roster and you put him on for an hour each week. Like,
Yeah.
What if it was Apollo Crews versus Seth for the Intercontinental title?
I'd watch it.
That'd be awesome.
I'd
Yeah.
watch it. That'd
Yeah.
be sick.
But the thing is and this is my argument with professional wrestling fans for the most part, you can give them exactly what they want, and they're still going to hate it.
They're always gonna bitch.
They're going to hate it, especially if it's main roster. No matter what main roster does, it's not New Japan, and it's not All In, so it's never going to get respect.
Honestly,
Even
right
if it's
now, I
good.
don't think they're gonna bitch.
Yeah.
Because right now the product is that terrible because they're not listening to them.
Yeah.
So give them what they want. It might.
But these are the same fans too when they say, "We wish the Attitude Era was back," and they give them a smidge of an Attitude Era angle.
they get
It's too much.
And they're
Too
like,
much.
it's way too much. That's so, dude, that's not PC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember when Paige said something about Charlotte's brother died? It's like, oh my God.
They're upset because Ruby Riott is doing an angle making fun of Jim Neidhart. And they're like, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
First off, Jim Neidhart would love it.
Yeah, probably,
Every
absolutely.
professional wrestler, if you're like, oh, I'm dead and you're still going to use me in an angle,
Yeah,
there's
still
not
over.
one that's going to say, don't do that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That was like one of the best things from Raw. Like I knew as soon as she brought that out, I'm like, she doesn't have a table with like his face on it or something, or it's gonna be a pink table
And-
with his like trunks on it. And nope, this is a fat head of him
A fat
on
head.
a table.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put you through it so you're closer to your dad. Like
And I'll tell you
That's
what,
crazy.
if you're going to pass the torch to a female superstar and let Natty go do her thing and maybe start her family and kind of ride her off TV, I mean, Ruby Riott's the girl to do it. She's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
She's just as good as some of your top billed superstars, but she's not getting the recognition, the push she needs. Maybe her taking out a legend, and that could be like her thing where now she's moving up, but I hope they do something with her. The only problem is she's on Raw, and no matter who excels on Raw, you are going to be behind Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Yep. And the thing with right now, Ruby's one of the only like true heels on the entire main roster.
Yeah.
Like who is a true heel besides
Yeah.
Riot?
Alexa,
Maybe
Alexa
Orton,
Bliss, but they don't know how to do
Baron.
certain.
That's kind of
Corbin could be one.
He's
yeah,
almost
yeah.
go away at this
Yeah.
point. There's a couple heels, but she's good. She used to be in Chikara actually, and she was good there. So I mean, why
She's probably the
getting
most
that?
experienced one on the
Death,
roster.
deathmatch wrestling dudes.
Yeah, I mean, go for it.
Yeah, she's all. I'm a huge Ruby Riott guy. I like her whole stable. There's not one main person in that stable that I don't dislike either. But besides that, on Raw, I mean, it's weird to say, but since Roman's been gone, it's been a different show. It's like they don't. Yeah, like they're completely lost.
Braun's out. But
Yeah,
I mean,
they're leaning so hard on Seth right now. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he can handle it. Obviously, he is.
It's kind of hard to bill your IC champ. Like,
Mhm.
why in a billion years would you give that belt
Back
to
to
Lesnar?
yeah.
And
Like,
of course,
he's
we
out.
haven't seen Brock Lesnar in 5 weeks.
Yeah,
I don't think
at
he's
least.
going to be at Royal Rumble.
He's
It's
not.
Like, oh, boy.
He's not. He's not going to be at. They're saying he's not. Next time we see him is
Excuse me.
probably
Gonna be WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. WrestleMania week. He'll show up once or
4
twice.
months from now.
Either he's gonna defend the title at Elimination Chamber, or you're not gonna see him till WrestleMania.
Yeah, and then it's like now the thing is like they were saying before, The Rock comes and wins the Royal Rumble.
No.
The Rock versus Brock Lesnar.
Who cares?
Rock versus
Okay,
Brock.
but then The
that
Rock
match-
ain't going to be around either.
Yeah,
so
That match at WrestleMania means absolutely nothing.
Nope.
Stop bringing
Match of
back,
a lifetime.
Yeah.
Once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Until next year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Stop bringing back.
I don't even
legends.
know what guy they'll have a window. Dean. I don't.
Dean, maybe Drew.
Yeah.
I mean,
I could see Drew.
I
but-
say you drop somehow between now and Mania. You drop that title to, Seth has to drop the IC title, and then you have to make Seth a push for the main title. You have to.
Yeah, because he's there all the time. Or have Dean win it. I
Yeah.
mean, but Dean's promos have been awful.
Yeah, they're
Dean as a
Dean
heel
with
isn't
the gas
exactly
mask.
working.
Yeah.
no, not
heel
yet.
is
I thought for sure it would
atrocious.
take off, but
It's whoever's.
I mean, the
writing
first
it
3
is
weeks were
terrible.
great. Come out, attack Seth, put him down, cut it like a 3-second promo, go home.
Yeah, but
It
then
was
it's
great.
like these people stink. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like 80s heel
Yeah.
comes out.
You
people
guys
stink,
do-
don't hurt my
girl.
feelings.
Yeah,
Which is terrible.
The only other thing I would say is McIntyre, but you can't have McIntyre come out and smash 4 guys one week and then get smoked the next.
Yeah,
Like it's
by,
just a weird angle there.
By Dolph, right?
Yeah,
Dolph
Dolph.
goes up and
I
down, win loses all the
Yeah,
time.
and Dolph is a guy too you could put a title on, but they don't know what to do with him either.
No.
Yeah,
He's
but every
always-
time Dolph
He
gets
flip
a push,
flops
Yeah.
every like 6 months, and then like, all right, we'll have enough. You can go back to SmackDown,
Yep.
and he'll do the same thing, back and forth, back and forth. Like, all right, you can go back to Raw now. And
It's a shame.
Dolph will get a push for 5 months,
Yeah.
get a title, drop it, and then you won't even hear his name in a mid-card sentence
Yeah.
until 6 months after.
Well, that was
the fact.
another one too. The fans outcried, "Why is Dolph Ziggler not our champion? Why is he not our champion?" And then they're like, "We're gonna make Dolph Ziggler your champion." Everyone's like, "Boo! I don't want to see
Dude,
Dolph."
it's been like that since probably WrestleMania 30. Like when Daniel Bryan finally won, everyone was pumped, but they're like, well, how about Cesaro? When's he going to be champion? Like,
yeah.
just
People are,
accept what
there's
you
always
have and
people
enjoy
that
it. Like,
Aren't happy.
And the champion does not make you as a wrestler. It doesn't. But you got to put them in decent storylines. If you have a decent storyline with a guy without a title, that's just as interesting as anything else, in my opinion.
Okay.
I mean, Piper never needed a title to be
The
considered
top heel
one of the
of all
greatest.
time, yeah.
But I think he should have had it.
He should have.
He definitely should.
But he didn't need it. He didn't need a title to put himself over.
No.
But he had great storylines. He had just great stuff around him. You know, and that's what they need to get back to. They need to get back to, you know, a better. They need to put storylines in, and they just the storylines are very lackluster.
Storylines that make sense and that actually go
Yeah.
week to week rather than just
One of my favorite
they're gonna
storylines
wrestle.
was the Rusev Lana Aiden English, and they dropped it. Like,
Yeah, where's Aiden?
Yeah.
He hasn't been
He
on
lost.
since.
It's like see you
Yeah.
later.
Yeah, I think the
House
final
shows.
match in that feud was like a 2-minute match.
Yeah.
Rusev just killed him,
Squashed
and that was
him.
it. And that was
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
Like that could have went on for a while, and they were so good together too. I
Yeah.
thought.
Well, when it was like last year Royal Rumble, they should have won the tag titles right around then, a little after, because that's when Rusev Day was super huge.
Mhm.
and over.
Yeah.
But it's like, no.
Tony
I
was
still-
a big supporter of Rusev Day.
I
Yeah,
still
I
love
love the
Rusev Day. Still love it. I still
Rusev's
think
good.
he should get a shot. And anytime you have Lana on TV, I'm a fan of that.
Who wouldn't be?
Did you see her her Instagram post?
No.
No.
So her Instagram post is her in a bikini, so that right there gets you there. And the second is, I guess she took all her hair extensions out, and I guess they told her to use alcohol to get her extensions out. So she's literally just pouring vodka
I did see that, yeah.
on her head. And then she's like pouring it, chugging it, and then she shakes it off, and then she runs and jumps in the pool. But like, and then like all the comments, like Rusev's like, "See, vodka's good for everything." Like, yeah, I love it. I think they're great. That's why I'm a really big fan of. I like the mixed match challenges when they actually stick to them, and not every other week they're dropping a superstar out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna say, when was the last time all the teams were the same? I haven't watched. I watched half of it the first season.
The first
season I thought was
season
pretty
1
good.
and season 2 are amazing up until like the last 3 weeks when you're getting close to a winner, and then they start flip flopping the teams because it doesn't coincide with what's going on in the main roster. But when they just let them go out and wrestle and come up with their own stories and their own gimmicks and their own promos, it's
funny.
gold.
Yeah.
It's still PG and it's gold.
I mean, R-Truth and Carmel are in the finals
They're-
this
they're
week
winning
against
it.
who?
Yeah.
They should, wouldn't. I mean,
So many people were injured and took out.
that's a nice pairing, though, too.
It's
Yeah.
a
Like,
hilarious
R-Truth
pairing.
wasn't doing anything, and the dude's like 50, he looks like he's 30.
Yeah.
He's
He's
crazy
awesome.
I
shape.
give
And
him a
he's
push.
so
Maybe
funny.
not the world title, but
Uh-uh.
the United States.
Mhm.
One of my favorite moments of Survivor Series was his promos, where he's like, "You know what, guys, we're gonna do it for the team," and you're like, "You're not even on SmackDown." He's like, "What?" And he leaves. Like, it's just stupid, but I loved it. Like, I like stuff like that. Like, that scratches my old school itch, you know. And then he goes, "We just found out I'm on SmackDown, so I'm here to support you guys." And they're like, "You're not on the team, but I'm on the show." Yeah, I like it. I don't know. I love it. I love R-Truth.
Hey, SmackDown is actually good though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This week's was pretty good.
I actually
The
watched,
opening match.
Yeah.
I actually watched Wrestle Talk News before I came in, and how they rate their shows. And SmackDown actually got a Smacktastic rating, which is 74%.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was good.
one of the ratings is Ellsworthy, which is one of the
wow.
lowest. But they called it
That's
Smacktastic, which
a-
is the best rating at 74%,
It's a
as to
compliment.
where the Raw rating was average, and that was about 89%.
How about off Raw? Like off.
That could work too.
Ooh, it's
But
been rough.
It's been brutal trying to be a WWE fan, main roster right now. Now, if we want to talk elsewhere, NXT has been kind of seeing an influx lately for all of the superstars they don't know with, per se. As of last night, if you haven't watched it, we saw Tyler Breeze taking on...
Tyler Breeze went back. Good for him. Go back to NXT.
Absolutely.
Tyler Breeze took on Ricochet for the North American title, basically an open championship match.
Yeah. How was it? Was it good?
And it was,
Ricochet went over, but
Oh, yeah,
I
of
thought
course.
it was Tyler Breeze back in NXT all over again. I mean, the match
I bet
was
he
great.
was so happy.
and
'cause
Ricochet gave him very, very high praise.
Really?
Very, very high praise.
He's good. Remember when he wrestled Liger that time?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was awesome. But then
Yeah.
it was just like,
Yeah, go to the main roster, we'll give you a push for a month,
Yeah,
and
Vince
you're
said he was
done.
too small.
Yeah.
So
You
it's
know,
like, well, then fire him. You know? It's like,
Vince doesn't like him.
I mean, he should have won the NXT title 5 times over, but he just kept getting built
Oh,
down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Neville, Sami Zayn, then Kevin Owens.
Mhm.
Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bo Dallas.
What happened to him?
Yeah.
He's in the B team.
Yeah.
B team is like dead now
Put him in
too.
the group of people that we don't know what to do with. Which
Yeah.
is probably about 50 people.
Put you in a tag team, you'll be on for a
make
month, and then
make
you're
up a
done.
tag team and not know how to run the tag team division.
Yeah.
That seems to be the
Tag team division is terrible.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
let's-
slightly better on SmackDown, but not much.
But if we're going to get back to our main title situation here,
Headphones.
if
Red.
you look at the situation on both shows, Raw basically does not have a major champion.
Down.
Brock Lesnar's not going to show up until he's good damn and ready.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
SmackDown, they're doing okay.
Yeah,
I mean, SmackDown's easily been the better show lately. But if you ask me, if you look at Dolph Ziggler and The Miz, 2 guys that go out there, put on a 4 to 5 star match every night.
Match that.
They both put over well. They put over very well, and they can take the match and take it home if they have to.
Yeah.
Both of those dudes deserve to have gold around their waist and potentially be pushed up to WrestleMania.
And what's the Miz doing now with Shane?
Yeah.
I don't.
I
What?
don't know.
Why? I don't get it.
They're
Neither
gonna
do I.
win the tag belts. I don't.
Are they supposed
Yeah.
to be the co-best in the world?
Yeah, yeah. He's
boy.
like, you're one. What is he kept saying? You're like 1/4. I'm 1/4 best in the world
Yeah.
or something now.
I
I don't get it.
So I thought Miz would win the world title, and then Daniel Bryan win the Royal Rumble
Mhm.
for WrestleMania.
But now they
That's-
kind of just went opposite
yeah.
directions.
I mean,
And I don't think anybody saw Daniel Bryan winning the title.
yeah,
No.
I mean, it's working out. I like it.
Someone
but
did.
I'd rather him
Someone
be a
did.
good
So,
guy. Yeah.
so I go to Jeff's house, Farlow's owner, and he said the second he said he messaged me and his son. And after watching Austin, you're my witness. As soon as that match became a title match on SmackDown before the pay-per-view, he said Daniel Bryan wins the title. He called it. And he's a very, very savvy wrestling fan. I like that dude's awesome.
I mean, I'm a big fan of like the sudden changes, throwing a monkey wrench and everything. Like, who saw Brock Lesnar beating Undertaker at WrestleMania that year?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we were all sitting there, like, literally expecting Undertaker to kick out of another F5. Hey, match continues, and it was just like, huh? Like, that dude's face was priceless for
Yeah,
that.
that was everyone. That's what everyone was feeling.
Yeah, that's exactly how everybody was feeling. But right now, main roster is just so. What's the word I'm looking for?
Too many people convoluted.
Yeah.
Yes, it's too many people.
Yeah.
We don't know what to do.
They're trying-
And here's we'll just focus on these like 5 or 6 people.
And then everybody keeps saying move Raw back to 2 hours.
Well, that would help.
If you move Raw back to 2 hours, though, now half the people you actually have on the roster have to go somewhere else because you really have no space.
Like,
for
what are you gonna start a fourth show then?
Yeah,
a fifth show? Like, just keep putting shows out.
Keep sending people back to
So
NXT.
you figure they have 5 already, like Raw, SmackDown, NXT, UK, and 205.
Yeah.
How does NXT in 1 hour put on a better program than Raw in 3 hours?
And you see more people almost
Yeah.
then too.
Yeah.
Like in that 1 hour, you see like
They put
15
on,
people.
They put on
plus.
quality matches. They let their matches do their storytelling.
And it makes
Their
sense.
promos are good.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's not-
going back to what you said earlier,
Commentary team is good.
Yeah.
WWE UK unofficially has signed Wagner to an exclusive deal.
Oh, wait, I don't know him. Who's that?
Wagner?
You mean Walter?
Yes,
That's how I was like, fuck. I was like,
I'm sorry, Walter.
I thought I was out of the loop.
Yeah, me too. I'm like,
No, well, I guess
I'll
if
get my
you're
phone
in
out.
German, it probably would be Volta. But
And now-
everyone says Walter.
He said to Stone Cold on his podcast that he truly does not like the United States. He would probably never
He
come
wants
over.
to live in Germany, yeah.
Right. He wants to stay in the UK. He wants to work in the UK. And then when NXT UK kicked off and they came and talked to him again, he's like, okay, I'll stay over here.
Yeah.
He has no interest in coming over
No,
here
he doesn't.
whatsoever.
And he
Whatever.
was the head trainer of the WXW school over there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he wants to stay there, but if he can make some money there, I mean,
I mean, for
good for him.
I read like for what they're getting paid, they're working like a quarter of the time and making more money than they would if they were
Really?
like on their own.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
so I guess they jacked up. They were only making like 25, 30 grand. And they jacked up salaries up recently.
Yeah,
But,
I guess they had to if they just wanted to just wrestle for
Mhm.
NXT.
But I guess
UK.
they made it that you can only work like Progress, ICW,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
There's
Yeah,
only
I think
5
that's-
companies you can work for
Yeah,
over there
Evolve.
that they're okay with.
Yeah, because I guess the last NXT tapings, not a lot of people went, and they're like, that's because these guys were on every other show around
Yeah.
the country. So,
Yeah, they kind of wanted like.
but now you work like half the
monopoly.
dates and you get paid
Right.
more money. So like, why not?
Yeah.
And if you look at the list of superstars on the UK brand, all of them have massive potential.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I truly enjoy watching Wolfgang's matches for being
I
a
like
big guy like
Wolfgang.
that. Wolfgang is one of my favorites to watch. Flawless.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at Mustache Mountain, of course, they're going to put on a good match.
Yeah.
The Coffee Brothers, how they teamed up with Wolfgang. Great little trio they got going there.
Mhm.
And now I believe at the first TakeOver UK, it's going to be that little threesome against
Mustache Mountain.
British Strong Style.
Yeah, isn't that before Royal Rumble?
That'll be decent. Though.
Tony Storm and Ray Ripley.
Yeah. So the last thing I just want to go over real quick before we jump too far off the WWE product is TLC thoughts.
12 matches.
Shockingly,
12.
There's really 12 matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 12 matches.
shockingly,
I don't know if they're going to get it all in 4 hours.
yeah. There's gonna be some squashes.
Yeah.
But shockingly, it still has potential to be a very, very good card with who they have. Personally, I'm not really excited for Dean and Seth. I mean, Seth still puts on great shows, but I'm not. I was never really sold on Dean to begin with, but that one doesn't do it. But the women's ladder match has me intrigued. Charlotte, Becky, Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
That could steal the show.
That's what I'm probably thinking. And everyone's saying, hey, this is the way to get the belt off Becky so she can possibly go wrestle Ronda at WrestleMania,
Yeah.
be the main event. Which I'm okay
Is
with.
this where
because Asuka
Asuka
deserves
finally
it.
starts her push again?
Yeah, 'cause she's
Probably
been dead in
not.
the water the last
Yeah.
6
Probably
months.
not.
I mean, they're not going to put. Will this be like the 7th or 8th time Charlotte would win the title?
Probably
At least
yeah,
somewhere in
I
there.
think it's 7. Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
They
I
got to
mean-
get her to a number. They
I
gotta
think it'll
get
be
her
a
to-
match.
I mean, if
Either
you're
way.
trying to get her to her father that quick in 3 times less the years,
Yeah.
you're doing a great job. But
In 5 years.
honestly, come on,
20-something.
Asuka. It's time.
But all right, let's talk that real quick. If Charlotte gets her title as many as her father, do you give her more credit because she did it in the same promotion,
Absolutely not.
or do you say he's one of the only guys that give credit to being a 16-time world champion in different promotions?
Yeah.
Honestly, in the women's division, you don't really have too many women right now that you can put the belt on and say, here, carry this belt for 1 year. And
I disagree. I disagree. They gave it to Carmella for a year, and I still think there's other
Was it a
people.
year?
No,
Almost.
It was from
No.
April to
They gave it to her
let's
for
say
half.
October.
Yeah, they gave it to her
That's
for,
long.
and she has 3 wins. She has wins over some impressive people.
Yeah,
They might not have been
wins.
clean,
Yeah.
but they're wins. So,
James Ellsworth counts for 2 of them.
No.
but I'm just saying, if you're willing to give her the run, I think there's people out there you can put the title on.
But I'm talking about
Ember.
Ember.
Amber Moon.
Yeah, Ember. Ruby soon.
Bailey.
I'd give it to Ruby.
Bailey and Sasha. They just have to not have a stupid storyline.
But Sasha's already held the belt 5 times.
I'm
Yeah.
over Sasha.
I mean,
They
her
flip-flopped it
and
3 times.
Charlotte held the belt simultaneously every other month for a year.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was terrible.
They both got 5 title reigns in a fiscal year.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Sasha should probably go to SmackDown. Fresh
Yeah, I was
out.
gonna say they should probably switch that up. 'Cause that's stale. So
Yeah.
stale.
Send Asuka over to Raw, send Sasha to
Yeah, Sasha
Maybe
to
not
SmackDown
all.
for sure. Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe put Charlotte back on
I
Raw.
say my opinion
That way.
would be is I think you keep your champions on each show just to keep some type of keep belts. I think if you were to get rid of belts, I think I think it just tarnishes stuff. But I think you keep your titles on your shows, but I think you don't have a brand anymore, especially when it goes to SmackDown on Fox. When SmackDown goes to Fox, and they're going to want the big names. And I think that's a good way to spice up that. Like, I'm going to do an open challenge. Now you're thinking, all right, who's gonna open challenge again? Am I going to see Dolph versus Dolph and Seth 14 times, or now all of a sudden a Raw guy's music hits and you're like, oh, didn't see that coming.
I'm still all for the brand split. 'Cause I mean, like we were saying before, there's just too many people.
Yeah,
Way too many
but
people.
it should work.
It could, but then I also read on the dirt sheets that Fox doesn't want people on Raw on their show because it's cross promotes with the other.
USA,
Yeah.
yeah. So I
Makes
don't
sense.
know.
The way
if they're gonna
Fox
do
was
it.
talking is they offered WWE money for when Fox takes over SmackDown. They want Raw.
Yeah.
They want both shows. But they
Makes
offered
sense.
WWE a set amount to end the brand split. They want to bring everybody together, and they want to do a 3-hour show where now you can actually get the product that you want. And I think if Fox somehow, someway gets creative control of this, Fox is going to turn this whole ship around, and WWE is going to go back to where it was. Because and nobody saw in the last week and a half, Vince sold roughly 32% of the company.
Well, his stock. Yeah.
Still sold part of the company.
I mean, he'll always be the boss.
Yeah, he
until
still owns
dies.
roughly $4.2 billion
Yeah.
worth of the company. But,
He's trying to get that XFL money.
yeah.
Which is gonna.
Now, my question is, was Fox the buyer? Did Fox buy that set amount of
Someone
shares?
bought it, yeah.
Because now if Fox gets their hand in the door, now they can start calling for a little bit of creative control and they can turn the shows around.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much pull Fox is going to have, but I think they might get rid of the brand split just because.
I mean, if they have both shows, I can see it. But if they're on different networks,
No,
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't want to see it just yet. But all they gotta do
That's
is
headphones.
like trade people.
Yeah.
microphone, orange.
So, I don't know. I think they might get rid of the brand split by the time because they want Ronda
Turn it
on
down a little
SmackDown,
bit.
obviously.
Well, they could
I mean,
just easily
switch her.
switch her
Turn
to
it
Charlotte and then have her recruited back.
Do you have like all the names on SmackDown and no one's on Raw? And it's
Not
like,
too
oh,
crazy, just a
Because
little.
isn't
Work with.
aren't they
They said
supposed to
work
go to
with it.
3 hours in instead of 2 then when it moves to Fox?
I don't know. I think it's going to stay.
That's still up in the air.
Yeah.
So if it's 3
I-
hours, all you
probably
gotta
if they
do
want.
is trade
Yeah.
some people around. Cruiserweights on that show then too.
Well, now I
They're
think
not even getting shown on Raw,
And
barely.
205 just got bumped on Wednesdays because of the Mixed Match Challenge, and then they got bumped again for another programming thing. So they don't even know where 205 is going to land.
Really? I didn't mind. I don't mind.
I
it
think
on
that's why you're
Wednesdays.
seeing the 205 Live guys starting to debut on the main roster again.
Yeah.
They should.
I think 205 Live is completely flopped.
well, yeah.
Their idea
Their talent is phenomenal.
Great, yeah.
Mhm.
But the show, I mean, it's kind of like on the back. Like no one really.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's
the
not
best
fun.
match of that pay-per-view, and besides the Charlotte Ronda match, which I thought as a fan of grapple wrestling, I thought they did a very good job to making the submissions look realistic. Besides that match, the match of the night was the 205 guys.
Oh yeah.
They stole the
Buddy
show.
Murphy's
absolutely.
awesome. Like out of nowhere, he just got like super. Like he was good when he was in the tag team, but he just busted his ass, and now he's.
Mhm.
Buddy
Really
Murphy was non-existent for about 2 years.
Yeah,
on NXT.
after they disbanded
After-
that tag team.
Yeah, after they disbanded the tag team, after their NXT tag team champions for almost a year, they lost to the Lucha Dragons. They split up the tag team. They fought. They got back together. They fought. They busted them
Yeah.
up again.
Mhm.
And now, Wesley Blake
Yeah,
is
that's
in
nothing.
NXT again.
Forgotten Sons.
Yeah.
Yep, which isn't a bad tag team. I thoroughly enjoy Jackson Riker, Gunner, if you don't remember from TNA. And Steve Cutler has a lot of potential. I think
he
he's
was
just
wearing a mask for like a month.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah, that was sick.
Cutler's just raw.
Yeah.
You got to get him. You got to give him that experience. But now you look at Buddy Murphy, who completely redesigned his body, trimmed down the weight to actually fit the cruiserweight profile.
That's because he's dating Alexa. So.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You got to keep up with that body. But,
get his cardio in.
But now you have him as your cruiserweight champion, pushing him towards a potential WrestleMania spot.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I don't see too many guys right now that I can say, okay, go out there and put on a 20-minute match with 5 stars
For him, a cruiserweight match.
for a cruiserweight match.
Well, him and-
Cedric, but I mean,
Cedric,
by
Hideo.
that time though, I mean, they'd
Yeah.
probably already wrestled each other how many times?
Yeah,
I'd love to see Hideo Itami finally get that push.
I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
that. Because he's just there.
I
I,
still
think
think
they're trying to
Tony
put him.
Nese-
They're trying to put him in a tag team all the time.
Yeah.
I think Tony Nese would be a good guy too, but they don't give him a shot.
A lot of the cruiserweight.
Nese has been like when I first saw Nese, he was good, but he was never he never did anything crazy to me.
Yeah.
He didn't stand out.
Mhm.
But the last 5 months, the dude's been busting his ass in the ring. He looks great.
Mhm.
There's
So
a lot of
the only main thing on the pay per view I want to ask is the only really surprise of the show, I guess you could say, is does Braun Strowman come out? And,
Yes.
You think he does? Or do you think that's a good moment for Lars Sullivan to make his debut?
I think they're gonna hold off on him maybe to Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Lars
Yeah,
Sullivan's
yeah,
going to
and
debut
that's
in the
it.
Royal
And
Rumble.
that's
That'd be a good
what
pick.
brand
You'll
is
see
he
the
on?
video.
And
Yes.
he can't go to Raw though. If Braun's on Raw, you need
Yeah,
another
it's
another
kinda
guy
similar.
on.
Yeah.
He's going to end up on SmackDown
Yeah.
after the fact.
Do you think he wins the Rumble?
No,
No.
no,
No,
he gets
God,
eliminated
no.
somehow. Maybe not.
I don't think he should be in it either. He shouldn't be in it.
Yeah.
Now, before we transition out of the WWE, because I know we're long-winded again, is this a bad year? Has 2018 been a bad year to be a WWE fan?
50-50.
50-50. I think this year has been a good year in some aspects. This year you've had possibly the rise and fall of Roman, because no matter what fans said about Roman, probably me being one of them, he showed his worth now that he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
He was there every week. Yeah, they crammed him down our throat, but he was a good worker. I mean, it shows, because now the show struggles. It was a year of Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman had a great year. The emergence of Becky Lynch, and I think honestly putting the women's division even higher up that ladder. Ronda Rousey, regardless of her kind of taking that spotlight, I thought she had some amazing matches this year. I thought her matches were pretty good. She made people that didn't look that good look really good. The women's division in a whole this year is a highlight. The women's pay per view, it was surprisingly decent.
I liked it.
It was
That
a
might
good
be my
pay-per-view.
favorite so far.
So I think I try not to look at too much negative. I just try not to do that. So I always try to look at things in the positive light. Even when a show sucks, I'll just be like, okay, I'll take something out of it. But I don't think it was a horrible year. It's definitely a transitional year, and it's definitely a year that they need to say we need to get it together for next year, especially if we're moving to a different show and we're getting Fox viewers,
Different network.
and a different
Yeah.
network. We need to step it up, and not only. And I know this is kind of a cross show talk, because I'm going to talk a little about MMA. I don't know if you're aware of this new news. ESPN is now getting UFC.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
The UFC app is going to still be there, but as long as most of your pay-per-views and most of your fights are going to be on ESPN1. ESPN1
Really?
is not a pay-per-view channel. It is a subscription channel. So if you pay $10 a month for ESPN1, you are now getting every UFC pay-per-view,
Wow.
which is a very good counteractive
Yeah.
to the WWE network.
Yeah.
So if you're going to lose your fans to anything besides wrestling, that could be it right there. And they need to get their product in line. They definitely need to do it. This is a big year for them, especially contract year. You don't know who's going where. I think Ring of Honor and New Japan take a hit. I don't think New Japan as much, because I think the Japanese fans like their Japanese guys, and that's not going to be an issue. But I think a lot of your American fans, for the most part, that thought it was cool to be a New Japan fan, are all going to jump ship once the Elite leave. because they're not going to work with New Japan or Ring of Honor anymore. They're going to do their own thing.
It's not the fact that they don't want to work with New Japan.
They want to do their own thing.
Yeah.
So I think they shouldn't though. Then either.
Yeah.
They have to be their own thing. It has to be an own set roster. That's the only way I see it actually working.
I was a firm believer saying that you're going to see one of those guys there. Now, I did see in the chat, DB Craft did say that Wrestle Talk has said that Omega is in talks with WBE.
I'm gonna say that they're saying he's in talks with everyone, just to,
Yeah.
you know.
But
You can talk to
Cody
them
already
one-on-one.
said he turned it down. I still think there is hope that maybe they go for a year and a half, make some WWE money, get their name out there, and then get all the legal stuff worked out for their company, and then go do it.
And then jump ship. I mean,
Well, that's the thing. If they sign with WWE, it's going to be at least a 3 or 4 year
It
deal.
has to be at least
You
3.
would think maybe, but even if they go for, I would say they get a 2-3 year deal.
They go
because
for
the
a 2 or
ball's in
3 year
their court.
deal. They still got to finish that contract. So they're going to put it in writing somewhere saying you are not allowed to leave this.
And I don't
company
think
until
they
that
would
deal's up.
mind doing that, because even if they were, 'cause at the end of the day, no matter what, WWE would get their contract, and they would own the rights to them, but to get that contract, they are not stupid guys when it comes to negotiation. They're not gonna sign a contract where they're gonna give up creative freedom. They're not going to give up a contract where they're probably going to lose their YouTube stuff.
Oh yeah,
They're not going to change their name.
They're
No
not
way
going
in
to
hell.
change their names. The ball is in their court. WWE is going to have to give a contract that works for them to get them.
But that's the thing. If they go to get them, it's going to be the Bucks. It's going to be Kenny. It's going to be Hangman. It's going to be Marty. And if Cody already shot them down, I mean, that might be a deal breaker right there because, like they said, they're all in together on this. Where one goes, they all go.
Mm-hmm.
So if Cody says no to WWE, clearly they're not going to follow.
Yeah, because Cody wants to stay in New Japan and get better, and he's the U.S.
He
champion.
also trolls a lot online.
Yeah,
so.
I mean they all do.
Yeah.
Jericho
Yeah.
does that too, so,
So,
you never really know
can't
what's
take that.
So I'm looking forward to their possible expansion and getting their TV rights and doing what they got to do because it's good for business.
Mhm.
Right now, there's no American company right now that's rivaling. I mean, Impact is there, but it's not.
The same with ROH.
It's just like a big.
Yeah.
not as big as
And
WCW.
and Impact has viewers. Like I mean, it has good wrestling. It has a lot of things going on. I think the problem with Impact is I think the network it's on doesn't promote it.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
They
they're
Plus,
leaving Pop anyway.
They
who
moved
has
back to
Pop
10,
TV? I
yeah.
used to, and then I don't have it
It
anymore.
was
so.
9, and then they pushed it back to 10. That hurt.
Yeah, and then when they were on Spike, they actually got decent promotion, and it was easier for people to find it.
They were a hot minute. They were on Destination America.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then
And
they
the
went
thing
to
that's
Pop.
helping them right now was their partnership with Lucha Underground. Because you took all those Lucha Underground fans that clearly love that promotion and drug them with those
Go
stars
watch
you brought
Impact.
over to Impact. And that just turned that whole ship around right there. And granted, they're based in Canada now. Granted, they're working smaller venue.
Whatever.
Impact is still, I hate to say it, better than Raw right now.
I don't really watch Impact, so I can't say.
I haven't watched it in forever, but I still kind of know what's going
Yeah.
on. But I mean, I was at an Impact show probably 3 years ago. They were in Sands Casino.
Yeah, I was there.
And I got free tickets. Free tickets were first row on the ramp. And it was probably one of the most fun shows I was ever
Right.
at.
Is that
Granted,
where
we were
the-
drinking the
Is
whole
that where the
time.
girl
Yeah.
grabbed her pants?
With who?
Is that where the one wrestler grabbed her pants?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It was Fulton with you.
Oh boy.
Fulton was
Yeah, yeah.
Fulton said the one girl grabbed her pants during the wrestling. During the
Maybe.
one
I
match.
wonder who
I'm not sure. But yeah, we watched it on TV then, and every chant we got started wasn't there. They edited it all out. We're just being dicks the whole time.
Yeah.
We're all sloshed. But
They
it's one
should
of the
be
most
happy
fun
with
shows
it
I was at.
carrying on.
Yeah, and those shows are like. Honestly, I think the big thing, the reason why NXT is doing so well, and I think a lot of different promotions should follow suit. I think it is good to put stuff in big arenas every now and then. Your pay-per-views, sure, put it in a big arena. But I think your weekly shows, if I'm Raw, I get away from the big arenas.
25,000 people.
Pack your shows in. Get more intimate with your audience. Get back into your audience. Personally, I loved when they did the women's pay-per-view. They went to a big arena, and they're like, shit, that was a mistake. We should have did a smaller
They
venue.
sold out.
Yeah, they would have went to a smaller venue. They would have sold out, and I like how they dimmed the backlights down.
Yeah, old school.
Like, it's just a cool... they need to go back to that.
Well, when Raw was at the Manhattan Center years ago, it was cool. It's the little
And the thing is that go to the small arenas and go do your Raws in small venues like the Mohicans. You can still do Mohican Suns and stuff like that because that's not
the Catholic Youth Center.
Yeah, they're not big, but
The youth center.
make your show a demand. Sometimes when you make it too accessible and you make it so every single guy can come in and scalp a ticket and get in there super cheap, you lose your lackluster,
Yeah, and it's just like, we can go next time.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that's why Ring of Honor prevails so much is they go to, was it the A Paint Center in Pittsburgh, the smaller venue? Was it 2300 Arena down in Philly, the old ECW?
I love that place.
They packed that place.
Maybe.
They packed that place. And it's hands down some of the better shows you're going to see is in that small crowd.
And the more the crowd gets into it, the more of an experience as a fan. You can literally go to an indie show and probably watch wrestling that may not be as spectacular as you're going to see on a professional level. But if you get a crowd that is into it, you're going to leave that experience because of the crowd was so into it and it made the experience more fun that you're going to be like, I had a blast their show.
Yeah, and it actually, from being in the ring, it makes it better for the wrestlers too, and they're more into it. And then it's
100%.
It's a better show overall.
The last Outbreak show, it was more packed for that show that I've seen in recent times.
Yeah.
And that was a packed show without even having a drawn name there.
Yeah,
I mean
Castro,
but he's been at so many. He's been at so many that he's just like he's just like a regular. He's a staple
he's just a roster member at this point.
But I mean, the crowd got into it, and it was a fun show. People had a good time. I just think that's how you get people back into wrestling and get people back into your product. Make it more intimate. Make it more accessible to your fans. Don't sometimes you're going to lose money by not charging so much a ticket, but it's better than tarping half of your arena off.
Yeah. Yeah, I see those pictures of Raw. It's like tarps.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, don't run then save the money.
It's where like certain places in the country just don't sell. So like, don't go to that place anymore.
Yeah.
Find somewhere smaller. And those
Philly,
people will still
Chicago,
go. If you want to go to that show, you're going to drive an hour to go to the show.
Yeah, and then maybe the next time you show up, because you haven't been there in 3 years, they'll be like, oh, last time we were there, they took it away from us. Yeah. Sometimes you have to take stuff away from people for it to appreciate why it's not there anymore. And that's, honestly, that's how you fix Raw. If they're never going to watch this. But you're looking for
riders. Always watching.
Yeah, you're looking for riders, so
Case
we're here.
in point.
Yeah.
The Temple Hosey PPW up there at the old school.
Yeah.
The PPW crowd, if you've ever been to a PPW show, they show up religiously.
Yeah, they're some of the same fans.
Yes.
Hazleton's was a wrestling city. Like that was, they had a lot of independent organizations up there. The Wild Samoans started up there.
Yeah, right in the main street.
That town loves indie wrestling. They love wrestling.
I don't know what it is that those fans show up religiously, but I've been to several shows. I've seen him. It's the same crowd and then some every show.
Yeah.
And this one dude heckles him every show, and it's kind of funny.
Calls you Matt Hardy.
Yeah, well, I get that. Somebody thought they were smart in the Outbreak thing. They're like, oh, he looks like Matt Hardy. And I was like, oh, yeah, first time I got that.
Well, you can't forget...
here. Yeah.
Well, you can't forget Miles Millennium looks like Seth Rollins.
Oh, what?
Miles Millennium looks like Seth
Oh,
Rollins.
yeah. I don't know. Who's the guy that looks exactly like Gargano?
Oh, that was the first time I met him at that show, too.
I was like,
That was kind of creepy.
That guy that looks like Gargano. He's in a tag team, but he has like leather pants on.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
We were in the back, and I'm just like, wow, that dude looks like Johnny Gargano.
I had so much fun at that last show. Who's the guy who's the manager for the werewolf dude? The tiny guy. He carries the club.
Jimmy, is his name Jimmy?
I have him on Facebook. He's a cool. The whole time I'm yelling, hit him with your club, and I just want him to hit people with his club. Like
the little valet for Grey Wolf. I've seen him on.
Okay, yeah. He's a good dude.
I said, hit him with your club.
I was trying to think, who was
Hit him with it. Hit him with it. Hit him with the club. That's my favorite part of it.
Ox went after him, but I think he hit Ox with it.
I think he can wrestle someone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I loved Outbreak. I love the show. It's a good time. And thank you guys so much for the plug. That I'm not just smoke up your butt for plugging it. I have a blast every time I go. I heckle. I mess with the referees. I get them with the, you know, what I mean, like I just have a good, it's a fun
It's on
time.
my phone.
That's
It
that?
sounds like my phone. I don't mean it. It's not
Oh.
important. It sounds like it was in my ear.
But one thing I'm going to take away from 2018 in wrestling is the debuts, the releases, Becky,
Ronda,
but mostly the debuts and the releases.
all in.
Well, I'm talking mostly,
Yeah,
we're still
okay.
on WWE.
Okay.
I'm talking about the debuts and the releases. I mean, you brought in Ricochet, you brought in War Machine, you brought in all these names,
Keith Lee.
Keith Lee, but the one name that still hasn't done anything on his second go around.
Chris Hero.
No.
Yeah, Chris. I mean, that's a good one.
That's one.
I
That's
think
one.
I think they have him slated for NXT like job.
Forever.
That's it.
And and I'm gonna say this because I can't stand the guy the way it is. Derek Bateman.
Oh, I never cared.
You know
for
what?
Derek
Because
Bateman.
he's clunky. He's
You know what?
clunky AF. Like,
He's a big
And-
jack dude.
yeah,
Looks good.
One thing I'm gonna say,
he's set for the
matches
main
are kinda
roster.
boring.
He's not an NXT
Yeah.
guy. He's made for like Raw.
when he
Yeah.
wrestled Sean Carr in LCW, I went down there to say it. And Sean, if you ever watch this, I'm so happy you did this. But the kick ski and the dick ski to Derek Bateman, flawless.
Was he EC3 there? I don't know.
He was EC3.
I might have been there.
Well, he
I
was
don't
Ethan
remember.
Carter the third. He was still in
Yeah.
TNA at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But that made my whole night because I didn't care for him when he was Derek Bateman. The first time I saw him, he actually wrestled in 2012. It was an NXT show.
Okay.
It was an NXT match on a SmackDown before
Yeah,
the
I was
show
there. I was
with
there. I know they're carrying kegs.
no, it was Dean Ambrose.
Okay.
Oh,
When
okay.
Dean Ambrose looked more of like the long, stringy-haired
Yeah.
scumbag.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow, yeah.
Yeah. But
Which was horrible.
yeah, and I don't understand how you leave NXT pissed off, cut all those promos against WWE, go to TNA, better your career, and then basically shaft them and go back to the
Well,
WWE where you're absolutely doing nothing again.
Money and
It's
has
money.
he been on? I know he had that match with.
He was
Velveteen
on
He
with
was on
Bobby
live.
Fish last night.
Oh,
I heard it was
Bobby
horrible
Fish
though.
was Really?
It was literally 10 minutes of Bobby Fish getting him over and then a schoolboy.
Like, my friend texted me. He's like, "Yo, that match tonight with Fish and EC3 was like horrible." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "I don't know if
I
it
think
was
the best
Fish
move-
had rust on him because it's his first
No.
match back by himself,
Yeah.
It's not
or
Bobby
is
Fish.
it EC3? I'm like, EC3 is just clunky.
Yeah.
Like
He's-
his match with Dream wasn't good at all.
If he
on that
was
takeover,
around
so
in like
Dream
'88,
carried
he
it.
would have been world
Oh,
champion.
yeah.
Because like that's like he just had a body.
No.
He almost
you know?
got too big for his own good.
The
now.
best move all night that he did in that match was a pretty nice looking powerbomb. That's about it.
Yeah,
Like he should have made roster. He could be the IC champ, and I mean,
he's
I don't think he's ever going to make the main roster.
I think
I
he
think
will.
I think Vince already has a hard on.
Oh,
yeah, probably looked at
He-
What are they going to do?
Yeah,
Debut him in the Rumble?
No,
Maybe,
no, I
maybe.
don't know. I think he's one that needs a build up prior to, but Dream could. I think Dream's going.
I
soon,
want
so,
Dream.
yeah.
I want
He can
Dream
have
to
the
come
NXT
up, but I
belt
want
first.
Dream to get his little promo back. My dream for Dream is Goldust. I want him to retire Goldust.
Well, apparently Goldust is done soon because he said he'll be at All In too.
Yeah.
Well, especially yeah.
So
Well, he
Well,
just
once his contract,
he's
he
had
is
pretty
what would he do
significant
with
knee
Cody?
surgery.
He is
Oh, he
training right now. He is putting photos up of himself working out and getting himself ready.
He
Well, they
still
had
looks
pictures
good.
of Braun and Goldust together in the hospital after Braun's surgery. I guess Dustin had knee surgery or something. He's laying there in the bed. Braun's in the sling.
yeah.
That'd be cool. I mean, I want the Velveteen Dream to win the NXT title and have a nice run with
Yeah.
that before he ever comes up.
He deserves it. I mean, he's
He's only-
20. He's
he's
23. He's
23,
he's
yeah.
putting
29.
in more work right now than anybody. Being that young, being that fresh.
Ciampa's putting work in.
Yeah, Ciampa.
And he's
100%.
doing work behind the scenes, which is helping his case
Yeah.
too.
Johnny Badass. I want to know what they're doing with Johnny Gargano.
I told you they're getting him closer to Ciampa so then they can fight again. That will probably be
yeah,
the
then
main
win the
event at Takeover for Mania.
Yeah,
But
I see that.
We're talking NXT Phoenix Royal Rumble weekend. You got Ciampa and Alistair.
Yeah.
It's like Lucha Brother. Phoenix.
Where do we go?
Ciampa.
I think Ciampa retains.
Yeah.
I think Ciampa retains with the help of Gargano.
And then Alistair comes out in the Royal Rumble. And
Yep.
he's like, oh, I'm on Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah.
I think he'll end up on SmackDown. You got to put him on
Yeah.
SmackDown for a little bit.
I don't know.
That'll
Either
help
one,
that
yeah.
show immensely.
I think like almost any guy that comes from NXT almost should go to that show first. That way you have the screen
Yeah.
time.
Did any of you guys watch my the little segment I plugged on Facebook 2 nights ago?
I don't think so.
The PWG best thing you'll ever watch.
Oh, I did.
Oh,
yeah.
when the
10
fat
minutes.
guy falls through the chair?
No.
Oh,
It's
that's
where
awesome.
Ciampa goes to do the thumb thing.
Oh, with Liger, yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
Liger
yeah,
just
I've seen that,
trucks them around the ring like it's nobody's business, and then does the Joey Ryan pornplex
Yeah.
with his axe and
Yeah.
tosses everybody over with their thumbs up. Everybody's
It's funny,
ass.
like everyone in that video is pretty much signed right now.
Yeah, just about.
Everybody except Liger was
Yeah.
in the WWE.
Yeah.
Oh, and Chucky T.
Yeah.
Well, he's in New Japan,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
But and after that it goes like slow motion. Everybody's going in slow motion, and that's one thing you can count on with Pro Wrestling Gorilla is you will always get a
Oh,
moment
Turn
like that.
these all down because we're too
Yeah,
loud in our ears.
it's funny.
Yeah.
I like
No, no, no,
PWG.
Ben. Turn these down because we're
Um,
hearing yourselves too loud. That's what's making
yeah.
everyone talk louder.
Yeah. So you heard that. But if you typed in the greatest PWG moment ever, it was I forget who's wrestling, but Colt Cabana is doing commentary with
You see
Excalibur.
the?
and
I can't
somebody
see the
else.
bars. Look at.
And the camera's like this on the match, and it just goes, and a fat guy is sitting on a chair, and it just breaks and he falls down. It's Super Dragon Wrestling, and Colt Cabana and Excalibur like, oh my god, what? And quick, like, he doesn't miss a beat. Excalibur's like, the force of that double stomp that Super Dragon just did sent such shockwaves into the crowd that the shockwaves knocked over one of our fans. One of our rather large fans knocked him right out of the chair. So powerful was that double stomp. It is so funny, but I don't think it's on YouTube anymore. But it was the PWG greatest moment ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so much that company does. Even when it was I think they all did slow motion ace crushers. Like literally each guy's like running into the ring like this, and then just literally almost like sits down on the ground and drags him with him down to the ground.
Now, this is kind of a off topic, but when you work on a new move or you work on something new, where do you get to practice that? Now, because you guys have like sessions where you can go and, and work in a
there's
ring.
a couple places that have training places, like I know Backbreakers in Scranton.
G plugs right now.
Yeah. But before the show, usually.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like you just watch a move over and over, and you try to process it in your mind, and then do it. Like I could, as long as it's not a real complicated move, I could probably do the first time in the ring, like in the match.
Mhm.
Unless it's like something I really want to try first.
Yeah.
But if you really want to try it and you don't train, then like before the show, you say, "Hey, can we get in the ring and try it with somebody?"
Yeah.
Especially
I
if
just
sometimes
wondered
off
that
the top
dynamic
rope.
when it came to a smaller promotion or like an Outbreak. I don't want to give away their secrets,
yeah,
but
yeah.
like, does that roster have somewhere to go to practice their stuff?
I mean,
or?
not for that. Yeah, but I mean, a lot of places do have, or the guys who are from different training places, they can go there
Okay.
and there.
If you want, you could train at my house.
Yeah, that's right. But
Here's a ring.
a lot of training places just will let, if guys are wrestlers established, they'll let them come and maybe charge them, I don't know, $20 or something.
Yeah.
I think what's like the closest one to Dungeon?
The dungeon is in Blandon,
Blandon,
Pennsylvania,
yeah.
which is outside, well, kind of
Like outside Lee's Port,
northeast
right?
of Reading, and then Backbreakers in Scranton, and then I know PPW's starting one in
Yeah, I saw that.
somewhere in Hazleton. Mikey Whipwreck's going to be a
Mhm.
trainer with somebody else, I forget.
So they're gonna have like a school.
Yeah,
Nice.
but I didn't see anything, so I don't know what's going on with that.
That's only gonna help
yeah.
your show too, because if you have guys who get more familiar with each other, it makes it better. So tomorrow night there is this is completely out of my wheelhouse. So
Final battle.
Battle.
yeah, you got there's a show tomorrow. Not just PPW, but
I see myself on the fridge there.
yeah. Look at you with those legs. We're looking at Sexy Andy on the fridge as Christmas
What
card.
are you talking about?
That was like a double take for
Wait
me.
till
I'm like,
Christmas, I'll
who
post
is that?
pictures.
And then I'm like, all right,
I mean,
I get it now.
Tomorrow night, New Japan show, right?
No. Tomorrow night is ROH's final battle.
ROH,
It's the last
yes.
pay-per-view of the year, and the main event is Cody Rhodes versus.
No. The final
Jay
main
Lethal.
event is Ladder War.
Oh, okay, that's right. Well, the world title match is Jay Lethal versus Cody Rhodes.
Who do you think wins that?
Jay Lethal,
Oh,
Cody Rhodes.
He's pulled up the code. Yeah. So then Cody is saying like this is his last. Like even Joe Koff is like a big ROH big shot part owner said that like the Elite's leaving. So
He basically has no chance to re-sign them unless he can offer
Yeah.
them what
Shit
they
ton of
want.
money.
unless All Elite Wrestling, keep that up, is going to work with ROH, which I think in the end, if All Elite Wrestling does exist, it will work with ROH.
Yeah.
And New Japan. And why not?
I do too. I think they're going to start their own thing, but I think they're going to keep that. They're going to
Especially-
remember where they came from, and they're going to let guys rotate.
Yeah, because they're going to like who helped them, which is ROH and New Japan. So they're going to.
Because if Jericho has as much say as the rumor is he is saying say, and even though he's denying it, but Jericho's vision of wrestling is something we talked about for a long time. Guys should be able to rotate and work with other guys
Why
and go to
not?
different promotions. Like to be locked in a contract and be a guy in a mid card, but you're saying, oh, I'm getting a WWE paycheck, but I can't do anything with it. Vince, let me go show what I'm worth somewhere else. I'll get a buzz, and then when I come back to work with you again, my buzz will come back.
Yeah.
Which
Jericho
they
had
kinda
them
do
on
that
that
though,
cruise
too.
for a reason.
Yeah.
Jericho 100% had that group of guys on that cruise for that
He's
reason.
working with them no matter what.
He's-
Wherever they go, Jericho's with them.
I thought
He
though
saw what they've
he
been
tried to
doing.
get NXT first, and
He
then
did.
Vince told him no.
Yeah, Vince and Triple H said no.
Yeah,
And
you're
so
not
he's
doing
like,
that.
all
So he's
right.
like, I guess I gotta go with the next best
Yeah.
thing.
And then I think he tried Impact, but he's getting a little, so he's like, well, ROH.
Yeah.
So.
He, I think we always talk about legacies and people, saying that this guy is the greatest of all time because he did this or this guy. I think when it's all said and done, and we lose the Jericho of the world, I think he's going to go down in history as not only as an amazing wrestler, not only has he changed his character, not only is he amazing in the ring, amazing on the thing, he's had some of the most amazing matches with some of the most talented people on the planet. But I think what he's going to do for the wrestling business before he leaves is going to be revolutionary. It's going to be bigger than anything we've ever
Especially
seen.
if, like, All Elite Wrestling takes off and he's a part of it, absolutely.
I'm not taking credit away from Cody and not saying that Cody was probably the mastermind, but I truly feel that Jericho sat with those guys and said, "This."
I'm sure he thought.
I think I feel he's
That's why he
probably
showed
the
up all
mentor.
in. That's why they were on the cruise.
Yep.
Why not?
And I think
Jericho.
this is literally going to be that company where it says, bring all your creative freedom, it's yours.
Yeah.
They're not going to take anything from anybody. They're just going to take this company and stick it straight up Vince's.
Yeah. Why
It's
not?
it's literally going to make it's not so much Vince, but it's going to make Triple H think, do I need to change with the times or we're going to get buried.
Mhm.
'Cause-
They're already getting buried. It's
Yeah.
being proven they're getting buried.
Yeah.
And some people are probably going to leave that aren't being used. I mean, yeah,
Oh,
getting paid's
absolutely.
great, but if you're never on Raw,
They're trying so hard.
The
to
revival
make-
already said as soon as their
I
contracts
think
are up, they're out.
there. A lot of smaller level guys like that are out of there.
There's a lot of
Especially if you're upset. Like
yeah.
Neville. Neville just won the Dragon Gate title.
Yeah. And now
Saturday or
we're
something.
going to Neville and Will Ospreay.
Yeah, that's in
Where's that at?
somewhere in the UK. I don't know the name. I forget the name of the promotion.
That's next month, I believe.
Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw that. Never mind.
They said that
Oh,
show
no,
might
I
actually
saw
be
that
the
in
first
promotion.
sellout in the UK
Yeah.
for the
Who would
the
want to
year.
watch that match? You know?
Yeah. You.
Yeah,
I just don't care for Osprey now.
Come on now.
So what else we got?
Okay, wait.
Kenny King
What?
and Eli Isom.
I was just gonna say before, if Cody Rhodes wins the world title, then you know that
Yeah.
it's ROH.
We got a Kenny King versus Eli Isom in a singles match.
See, I don't know Eli Isom.
He was in the top prospect
Oh,
tournament
okay.
before Jeff Cobb shut it down.
And this
Okay.
is tomorrow night, Friday.
This
Yeah,
is tomorrow night.
Yeah. I actually
we
might
have
get
a
this.
four-corner survival match for the Women of Honor World Championship between Sumi Sakai,
He's the champ.
Madison Rayne, Karen Q, who was in the Mae Young Classic with Madison Rayne.
What
She
was her
went
name in that?
Karen Q.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Madison Rayne was Ashley Rayne,
Yeah.
and then Kelly Klein. And Kelly Klein is like the Brock Lesnar of the women.
I don't know. I would say Sumi keeps the title there.
Yeah. And then one of my personal favorites in Ring of Honor, Dalton Castle versus Matt Taven. You can't not pick the Party Peacock.
Okay, yeah, because now he's healed up.
Yep.
And I gotta start pushing back towards the title.
Uh,
Jeff Cobb versus Adam Page,
yeah,
Hangman.
Hangman for
I'd
the
say Jeff
Ring of
Cobb
Honor
keeps
World
it.
title. And they're basically building this up as anything that Jeff Cobb can do, he can do better. In which they're both big, strong dudes, but
I thought Hangman had one of the best matches at All In.
Yeah, with Joey Janela.
Joey.
and I think Hangman has one of the
Hangman's
most innovative moves going right now with that buckshot lariat.
Oh, that.
You nip up over the top rope and a front somersault right into a
And
lariat.
I thought Skrull had a really good match too.
Oh, yeah, with the
Even though
pilot.
supposedly he got heat for because he
That's
went
what they
too
said.
long.
Yeah, and then they kind of spoofed it on
Yeah.
Hawk being.
Then you got the champion Jay Lethal versus Cody. Of course, that's
I love Jay Lethal.
that's gonna go.
Yeah, Jay Lethal's great. I would think Jay Lethal keeps it, but
Yeah.
maybe Cody wins it. I would
Now-
be that surprised.
For me personally, I feel like this is gonna be the match of the night. Jonathan Gresham and Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
That should be really good.
Two submission specialists just going at it like it's nobody's business.
And I think it's Zach's first time in an ROH,
It
so
is.
I think Zach's gonna win.
Where's that card at?
No,
It's
what
in
is
New York, isn't it?
Yeah, because
New
then
York.
Saturday they have tapings at the arena.
It's
so
a good crowd.
Bully Ray and Flip Gordon
I
and I
Quit.
Quit match.
Flip wins
Ooh.
somehow.
Yeah.
Wonder who wins and I quit. Probably not the heel.
Yeah, Flip has to win somehow.
Christopher Daniels versus Marty Scurll. Now this one's interesting
Loser
because
leaves.
I don't know how they're billing this out. If Christopher Daniels is actually retiring after this match or his contract's up.
Yeah.
They've been playing it up for weeks. His contract's up. They offered his tag partners Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky contracts. They did not offer him a contract. Granted, Christopher Daniels is in his 40s. He can still move in the ring like with the best of them, no questions asked. But is this where Daniels hangs up his boots?
Well, he's not going to retire because he'll be a part of all you know.
Right.
Or is this where Skrull leaves because he's going somewhere
Yeah,
else?
I don't know what they're gonna do.
Because
Does the winner get a title shot?
the winner gets Marty Scurll's Ring of Honor title shot.
Oh, then maybe Christopher
And
Daniels
Daniels never really got his one-on-one title match when he lost it.
wins. Yeah,
You think Jericho makes an appearance?
No.
No.
I would say no, but I wouldn't be totally
I
shocked.
wouldn't be surprised. No.
Yeah.
And
he's
then
just been showing up
The
everywhere.
main event of the card will be SoCal Uncensored,
Yes,
Frankie
you.
Kazarian and Scorpio Sky against the champions, the Briscoe brothers, Mark and Jay, against the Young Bucks in Ladder War.
That's really good. I mean, that's
Yeah.
going to be a spot fest, but
Yeah.
that's what a ladder match is.
That's just that match where you're all gonna sit there and just like, holy
I would
shit.
think the Briscoes win, but who knows? Maybe the Young Bucks win just a surprise.
Yeah, I see SoCal Uncensored taking it
So for a
because
title?
from
Yeah, for the tag title.
for what my understanding, Mark or Jay needs some time off.
Oh, okay.
So I could see SoCal Uncensored taking the titles and going with it. So that leads me to believe that Daniels will win and get the title shot.
Okay.
So let's end up here because we're getting a little long. Let's end up here with some local wrestling. So Saturday night, because my days are all confused. Saturday night we got a show in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, PPW.
Yes.
Uh,
Drago's there and Blue Meanie is there.
The Blue Meanie. All right, so the Blue Meanie is hands down, besides Andy Header here, the biggest sweetheart I've ever met
Very
in
nice
the
guy.
wrestling business. He is such a nice dude. So he said something to me in Philly. Like I said, I was telling them I didn't get to finish it, but I was on my way to Vegas, and I was flying out of Philly, and I get my bags, and I turn around, and me and him are eye to eye. And I met him in Hazleton at the old, I always forget what Outbreak used to be called.
Oh, AXW.
AXW. Which I think Outbreak is a smarter name because I think all the AXPP, this is hard to keep track
Yeah,
of.
one word is much easier.
Exactly.
Chikara,
So
Evolve.
kudos to PPW is very clever because it sticks with you.
Yeah.
But
PP.
because it's just PP. That's what it is.
I think it stands for Pioneer Pro because it's like from Hazleton, the Pioneer Coal thing.
Pennsylvania
But I think
Premier
Outbreak's a
Oh,
bit
is
more.
it Pennsylvania Premier? Never
Pennsylvania
mind.
Premier Wrestling.
Well,
Yeah.
I work there every day.
Yeah. But I think Outbreak's the clever.
Sorry, Paul, bro.
Yeah.
How do you do your company dirty like that?
He's not their champ.
Yeah, I'm not your champ.
You're the heel up there.
Yeah.
You don't care.
That's another question.
I like
In a
wrestle
second.
all the superstars. That's
Yeah,
it.
You get DDT by Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah.
I mean,
Lucky.
Parker Hawley, Hernandez, you know. It's
Yeah,
like,
but I'd rather get beat up by Tessa.
yeah, who wouldn't?
Yeah. But yeah, so I completely forgot my train of thought there. Oh,
You're talking about-
Blue Meanie.
Yeah,
So
Blue
yeah, so I guess he was going to Vegas as well. They're doing like a conference about there's an organization that helps wrestlers when they get to a certain age, that they help pay medical bills. They help.
Cauliflower Alley Club.
So they were doing, and I guess they honored Shawn Michaels that year, and they had a whole thing in Vegas. And I was saying, oh my god, if I could bump into Shawn Michaels on the Vegas
Yeah.
Strip, that would make it. But I didn't. But I ran in the Blue Meanie like 6 more times because we
Even
walked
better.
around Vegas. Yeah. And I every time I talk, and I said to him, I'm like, hey man, it's really, really good to see you. And he looked me dead in the eyes, and he just said, it's good to be seen.
Oh, wow.
Like he's appreciative that people remember him in his run. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He's not just the guy, like a lot of the WWE guys are like, oh, you're the guy that got beat up by JBL
Yeah.
in a shoot. You know what I mean? But no, like the guy put his work in. Like he was awesome. He's one of these, like the BWO was one of the funniest.
I love the BWO.
The BWO
I bought a
was-
shirt when he was at the XW
So
show.
did I, and it's like actually it's a medium. I can't even wear it, but I bought it just because I wanted it. 'Cause I got a BWO shirt from the Blue
I
Meanie.
bought one back in the day at ECW show in Jim Thorpe.
Yeah.
I bought, for some reason, it's extra large. It's like huge on me. I'm like, why did I buy it?
We could
extra large?
trade. I have a medium or
I'll
a
give
large.
it the old,
yeah.
I bought the medium off him. I said, hey, man, his name's Brian, so
Yeah.
he said, hey, Brian, can I get a shirt? He's like, yeah, man, cool.
I
So,
called him Meanie.
That's what, yeah, I'd rather call him Meanie. But he used to run his, not to keep this going, he used to run his own thing called 3PW. It was around 2002, 3, 4, around there somewhere. And it was doing really good, and then something fell down. That's when he was dating Jasmine St. Clair, the porn star. And I
Good for
was
him.
like, wow, this and
That's
this
when he
just
slimmed
I started
down. He,
wrestling.
like,
yeah,
slimmed
remember
down.
he was super thin?
Yeah.
And like I just started wrestling, and then the Fed was done. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that sucks. And then Drago from Lucha Underground, really, really cool. Really, he's good in the ring.
Yeah, that's an awesome
His,
outfit.
I still to this day.
That mask, it looks like it would hurt. if you
Yeah,
touch it.
Yeah.
it looks like it hurts, and
The
he
rubber
does the
tongue.
tongue,
The rubber tongue.
where
Yeah.
he literally he puts a tongue out that goes down to here, then he sucks it back up, and he wrestles the whole. He never takes
Yeah.
unless he has a good sleight of hand. I don't think he ever takes it out. Because you would see it because
I
it's
can tell you.
black and it has paint on it.
Unless it rolls up, I don't
And
know.
there's like drool on it or something.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
something on it.
I mean it, and then he wrestles the whole match with it in his mouth,
Yeah.
and he's still doing the facial expressions, which is crazy. Like I'd be like, he's gonna choke on that.
And somehow, some way, he manages to get that thing out of the way and do like a green mist.
Yeah.
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 Hey,
He's very Muda-ish with later years Muda with the hard plastic mask.
Mhm.
But that suit just looks like it'd be so hot, and I would not want to wrestle in
Yeah,
that.
and it look the shoulder pads
Yeah,
on it,
I
and
just-
the
no,
wings.
thank you.
He's such a cool
But
character.
it looks awesome.
Yeah, he's a cool. I said last time I'm going to the PBW show. I think I'm doing it this one. I gotta find out what the boss says.
Yeah.
The boss is the wife. But yeah, I would really like to go see Drago. He's awesome.
He's
in Lucha.
wrestling Deshaun Pratt. Should be a great match.
Yeah. Which one of the superstars is are you fighting that night or not?
I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing with Tessa until before when they told
When
me.
you showed up,
So I'm just
yeah.
in this gauntlet match. Winner gets a title shot, I think, and they don't know the order. There's even some teams I've never even seen before in the match.
Or a
so.
potential spot on the Impact show.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like the Elementals, I'm like, who are the
Could you
Elementals?
imagine if you get a shot at Impact?
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
we're like, we never watched
yeah,
it.
yeah, I don't watch your show.
You'll be like the next
Russell
Lars.
Morrison.
Yeah, you'll be like the Lex Lars. Like,
Yeah.
Andy was on a podcast and said he never watches Impact Wrestling, and now
Yeah,
he's going to it.
Yeah,
And
we've
then
seen
the brand new PPW champion Sean Carr defends his title for the first time against Teddy Hart.
yeah,
Yeah.
Teddy Hart's there too. Yeah, actually really good too.
Yeah, I mean they're bringing some decent names in, and I'm excited for it. So my question for you is, in Outbreak you play the face,
Mhm.
and in PPW you play the heel. What do you prefer?
I think I'll always heel because I could just yell whatever
Yeah.
comes in my head, bloop, yell, and be more of a goofball.
Yeah.
But then I just started. I was like, well, I like doing that. So what if I just do that when I'm face too, and then just
Yeah.
I'm just.
So when you get the heckles, you can give it back. To them.
Yeah. Where's your face? You really can. Even you can a little, but not as much.
Are you gonna pull what Daniel Bryan just did? Tell a little kid he sucks.
Yeah, I probably have. I'm sure I have.
That's you gotta
You
ruin
suck
his
as a
life.
pickle. Yeah.
Because at that moment you're gonna piss off the parents and you're gonna make a kid cry.
Yeah.
But when that kid
That's what heels do.
if
Chuck
that
Taylor.
kid becomes a wrestling fan later on in life,
He's gonna be like, that was
he's
awesome.
gonna be like, that was one of the
Yeah.
coolest things. That happened to me, except I was a very smart young wrestling fan, so I knew kind of coming into what to expect.
Yeah.
So we went to a house show in Monte City. This is when they used to all do the high school tours, and it was Jim Duggan, and it was Papa Shonda was there, Doink was there,
What a show.
which in retrospect,
right?
because I think Doink ended up being he was on Megan's Law, or he was on the sex offender list
I
at
don't.
one point.
What
Or was that a rumor?
Not the first one, which was
One of them was.
Wasn't
Ray
Matt.
Apollo was one of them. I forget. I forget
Wasn't
his name.
Matt.
No.
Matt Bourne. No, I don't think it was Matt.
Oh, then I guess maybe it was just a rumor.
Maybe
you know?
it was-
Yeah.
He's
Now,
dead.
Alabama Doink.
The Alabama.
Yeah.
Maybe the Alabama toy is probably.
Now, at the time, did you know Papa Shango was the Godfather?
I at that time, well, I do now, but when I was there, he wasn't really the Godfather because I was still young.
He was
still
still Papa
Papa
Shango.
Shango. So this lady hands him a baby, and the baby's already like, I'm not feeling this at all. And he holds the baby, and he goes like this, and then they're like and I guess him and the cameraman had it synced up, and he goes 3, 2, and he just goes. Like he was gonna, and the kid, like I wish I had that photo, because that kid literally had one of those screams where you don't make a noise for a couple seconds, like and then it comes, like your soul, like it scared the soul out of this kid. And I remember being in line, and I literally remember being in line, and I was like 9th in line, and I literally remember 7 of the kids in front of me looked at their parents like, not doing it, and they walked out of line. And I
Where
just,
was
like,
this at?
in Monte City.
I was at that show.
Yeah,
I was at
not
that
there.
show. I
Sure
wasn't
was.
in line for the picture, but I remember being at that show.
Jim Duggan was there, and I think the dudes from T102 wrestled.
Yeah, RC.
Yeah.
Back when he was really fat.
Jim Duggan was there. King Kong Bundy was
I remember,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then King Kong Bundy, I wrestled him in the West End Fire Company's engine room.
Really?
Yeah, he was such a nice dude. He was a really, really nice guy.
North Schuylkill High School. It was supposed to be King Kong Bundy versus Teddy Atlas for the main event. None of them showed up. So we had Jim Duggan, we had one other guy, and
Tito?
Road Warriors.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
Yeah.
So if you can, if like Outbreak, if they're listening, because maybe they are, if you can get a guy that maybe back in the day was a big thing and he can come and do something now, like they had Jerry the King Lawler or they had the Sandman,
Or Virgil.
Our rate.
No.
Yeah.
We'll start with you. Who would sell a ticket for you to a guy to get off your bucket
To
list?
wrestle or just
Just to
show
make an
up?
appearance.
Okay,
If he does in the ring and does something, then cool.
Huh.
But for the most part, even if it's just to show up because he can't physically do it anymore, who would be a bucket list guy?
Sting,
Sting?
just to meet him. So he's always been my favorite. I haven't yet to ever meet him.
Yeah.
That's okay. Well, he was at Comic Con this year, but I missed him totally.
Who would yours be?
Oh, jeez.
Or even to work with? Who would you like to like?
I can still go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or like whose finisher would you like to take? A realistic one. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah, I know what you're
Rock's
saying.
never going to show up at PPW and give you a rock
Or even
bottom.
like Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Jeez. I don't know. Probably an ECW guy, just because
Yeah.
that's like
Like a DDT from Tommy
Raven
Dreamer or
yeah,
something.
something, yeah, 'cause something that seems possible. You
Mhm.
know, I can see definitely Tommy Dreamer being there. I'd like to do something with him. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
For like an '80s guy, like I can't. Maybe if they brought in Sid and Sid chokeslam. I think Sid could still chokeslam.
Yeah.
And they don't have to do much.
I would be like, yo, could you big boot me off the top rope?
Yeah, there you go. Oh.
Come on. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Too
Sid.
soon?
Tell that as a Ryan Box book, Sid.
Yeah. Who would you like to see?
As much as he doesn't wrestle anymore, I would love to see Rob Van Dam.
Oh,
Rob
yeah.
Van- that's a good name.
Rob Van Dam.
Yeah.
You're not on Mike Ben, but we'll hear you. Who do you got? Who would you like?
Let's do the taunt. Let's see if we can guess if we're doing the taunt.
No.
Why he thinks of it.
Well, go ahead.
Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam, if I could wrestle him, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
no,
take a
that's
five-
bad.
like a
That
five
would
star.
be-
Take a 5
that
star
would
from
be
3/4
awesome,
of the way across the
yeah.
ring.
So mine would be, I would love, and now that he's like a different person, he just recently was on a podcast I listened to on Joe Rogan, and listened to the podcast, and I actually got emotional from it because, you know, I personal grow up with, I'm having issues with for a long time, and I'm getting through it and stuff, but like depression, anxiety, and stuff like that, and stuff like that. But Jake the Snake Roberts was just on Joe Rogan, and when you hear a guy like Jake the Snake or The Rock, and they talk about their problems and how they're overcoming it, like they were superheroes to me as a kid, and like they never went through anxiety, depression, you know what I mean?
That, yeah.
So, I always liked Jake the Snake, and subconsciously that's why I'm terrified of snakes.
No.
His podcast on Joe Rogan. If you're not a Joe Rogan fan, but you're a wrestling fan, go listen to that podcast. It's unbelievable, and a lot of people don't like Joe Rogan that are wrestling fans because they think he hates wrestling, but he just likes to make fun of wrestling because it pisses people off.
He's a comic though, too.
Yes,
so.
he's a comic, but his interview with Jake the Snake is unbelievable. But I would love to meet Jake the Snake.
If you have not gone to Netflix yet or have not seen it, go watch Resurrection,
Yeah,
the Jake the
I
Snake.
heard-
Oh, that's solid. Dude.
That actually hit home for me
Yeah.
because I think at one point in our lives we've all been there, like rock bottom, like he was. He was about to lose his house. He had no job. He had
His
no
family
money.
hated him.
Yeah.
He couldn't move.
Yeah.
He had such a hard time moving without painkillers. It was ridiculous. DDP literally moved him into his house for 2 years until he could get back on his own again.
Yeah, as Jake took care of DDP years ago.
Yeah.
Helped him out.
DDP, honestly, that'd be another good dude too. If they
I was
could,
just gonna say,
if
dude,
I met him
DDP
down in Reading. He is the
I would
most
just,
down to earth dude
I would
I've ever met in
literally,
my life.
that like, I would never get like starstruck or like, but I would hug DDP because he saved the lives of like people that I idolize.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
he looks better now than he did.
Yeah,
back
I mean, he is super
60, I
positive.
think, right?
Yeah.
So I have met both of them, and I met Jake when he was actually at his lowest. So
Yeah.
he was wrestling for sure. It was terrible, but
Is that
DDP was a really nice
when
guy.
he like was cursing and remember that show that he like the last one where he came out and his last was hanging
Oh
out?
yeah, it was kind of a little before that.
Yeah.
It was a terrible
He was-
match, and he was just like.
He was like
ugh.
really
The
bad.
thing about it
Yeah.
is, this was before he was at Reading, the Reading Phillies game, before the Jake the Snake movie dropped.
Who, DDP or Jake?
Yeah. DDP. He was telling people that it was playing in select theaters. Like he mentioned the Philadelphia theater it was down in. Go see it. I don't know how many people went to see it, but if they did not see that movie yet, they are truly missing out on an inspirational story.
Yeah, 100%. Cool little thing. I won't say all of it because I don't want to ruin the podcast if you listen to it. But Jake, that wasn't Jake's first run at living with DDP before.
Okay.
So he lived with DDP once before, when he was still kind of wrestling and he had the snakes and stuff like that. and he lost a snake in DDP's house.
He lost the cobra under the sink, and Kimberly found it.
Well, Kimberly didn't find it. One of the animals went missing.
Oh God.
Oh.
So DDP lost an animal to it, and his wife was very, very pissed, and they had to hire a.
Snake wrangler or something.
No, they had to hire like drywall guys to come in and just literally rip walls out until they found it.
Oh God.
And she literally said, "Get him out before I get home." and then DDP had to convince his wife again to let this guy in. There's a whole good story,
No
but
snakes.
I mean,
No
yeah,
snakes.
yeah.
But he's doing good now, so that's
Yeah.
a good thing.
Another fun fact: the cobra that bit Macho Man
Yeah.
died that same night.
Really? I didn't know
It
that.
killed
Didn't know
itself.
either.
Wow.
Yeah, you'll hear more about it if you listen to it. But it's very, very interesting. That moment traumatized me
Yeah,
as
because
a
it was
kid.
actually pointing into it. Oh my God,
Traumatized
this is
me.
real.
Yeah.
Thank
And
God
then as
it
a
was
kid, I'm
defanged
like,
and deep
Yeah.
teeth.
Yeah.
And as a well, wasn't it still had its teeth?
Venom. Yeah.
They just they removed the venom glands, but it had teeth.
Yeah, because it bites into it. You see the blood. and
Another
everything.
cool story about that. Macho Man was so paranoid that snake didn't have venom, and he goes, all right, I know what's going on. I'm the champion. You're trying to take me out and take my spot. The only way I'm getting bit by that snake, Jake, is if it bites you first. And Jake's like, what do you fuck want me to bite it? He goes, on the fucking leg. Before they get into the ring, Macho Man made that snake bite Jake.
How about
So
that?
that snake bit 2 people that night.
By the way, that was a very good Macho Man.
Yes,
It's like you're whispering.
Yeah. He gets crazy. He gets a little loud. He gets a little crazy. Yeah. Cup of coffee. But yeah, what are we at time wise?
An hour and 13.
I was gonna say a minute.
Wow,
Yeah,
minute. That
yeah,
was long.
that was the longest.
We'll
minute.
probably. You guys, anything else you got wrestling wise?
Oh, I got my.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I would go with either Goldberg or Stone Cold Steve Austin because I was a big Goldberg guy.
Well,
way
they're
back
not
in the day.
realistic though.
But I don't care.
Let's see.
I don't
Stone
care.
Cold would never show up at an indie show.
Yeah.
You never
And
know.
Goldberg's sorry to ruin your dreams. Of
No
I don't care.
No, that's
I don't
his
care.
How about Gold Dust?
I would love to meet Goldust.
Yeah, I would like to meet
If
Goldberg.
you're-
I'd like to meet
Yeah.
Mick Foley.
You have a
Yeah.
better shot of meeting Trish Stratus over Stone Cold or
Should we say New York
Goldberg.
Comic Con this year?
Yeah.
I did meet a lot of
He met Sting.
wrestlers.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I see his picture every day.
Second of my
Plugs
cubicle.
it in like, hey, he's your favorite. I never was a big Sting fan, but
I never was either. I liked him, but I wasn't really a WCW.
I always like people like painted their faces and wore masks. So I like Sting, Warrior,
LD.
freaking Rey Mysterio, Psychosis, La
Yeah.
Parka. Like I like
Oh,
all
La
those guys.
Parka.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to
Parka's
see
cool.
La Parka.
La Parka
yeah.
would be a great match.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
smack someone with a chair.
LA Park.
I'd like to meet Mick Foley. I like
He's a
Mick
nice
Foley.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was
I
at
thought
LCW.
LA Park was his kid.
No, that's because of some contract.
You got anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Pillar Row Brewing's now a legit business, so we should be opening by 2020.
Give a can
Awesome.
to like.
I don't have any merch or anything,
Next
but
time.
We
look
got
us up on
cans, it's just not
Facebook,
his.
like us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, or
And all the links.
switch that.
All the links will be in the description. You
Yeah.
got anything you want to plug? You got your show tomorrow?
Yeah, PPW, and just look on Facebook and find PPW, and it's gonna be in Hazleton, Holy Family Academy, where it's always at.
Anything else?
Not right now. Calling it the Power Ring, my other
I
podcast.
was about to say.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, I'm gonna plug your
plug
podcast
that.
if you don't.
Podcast in Pennsylvania. Just subscribe to it. And there's a bunch of podcasts that are
There
all
is.
wrestling related, mostly wrestling related.
There's a beer one.
Yeah, Hooligans of Hops, and there's a couple of different ones that my friend's wife does. I know they Game of Thrones one she does now and then, and they review the Crow movies. So a bunch of different stuff, mainly wrestling.
Cool. What do you got?
Outbreak's on hiatus until February, and once the weather breaks, we just found out that Mr. Header here will be defending his title against Dave Smith.
Yeah, the
Again,
Wild
his
Child.
rematch.
It's gonna be a good
Yeah,
match.
Prettiest pit bull in the yard.
3 falls. So
Very,
yeah,
very nice guy as
And-
well.
yes.
And
I'm looking forward to it. Should be a great match.
making a return to Outbreak Wrestling since Epidemic A will be Ace
Yeah, I
Austin.
was gonna say Ace Austin.
Ace
He's been
Austin
killing it.
was
He's
just
been around the
with
horn.
Impact.
Yeah.
He wrestled for Impact for a few weeks,
And
and
he was on 205 once.
was he?
Yeah.
He was on 205. I think he just worked House of Hardcore last
Really?
weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, he blew up, man. Good for
If
him.
you are into high flying and almost a lucha libre style, you will want to come out and see Ace Austin.
In a small ring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
it's-
gonna
yeah.
go crazy in that thing. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Last thing, T-shirt. What do you got going on here tonight?
Oh, I got my from '80s tees. I don't know if you can see this. Hold on. It says, "Woo is how I say Merry Christmas."
I love it.
Yeah.
You got your
It's a
Undisputed
flare.
Era going.
Of course. Gotta rock the guys.
And I got my boy Deppin.
Deppin?
Yep.
He's an indie guy,
Oh, is that a
right?
Tony
He's an
Deppin
indie
shirt?
guy.
That's a
Yep.
Tony Depp
I
shirt.
thought it was a Shield shirt.
And then,
We'd love that if you heard that.
the only reason I'm wearing mine tonight is because I convinced Andy not to wear his.
Yeah.
Andy bought this first, and then he showed the link, and I was like, I'm buying one too.
And you can't buy it. They WWE put the hammer down. The
Did
bad
they?
hammer, yeah.
So you can't get this.
if you messaged the dude on Twitter, he would still sell you one.
No, you could at least clean the pizza sauce off your shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I dropped pizza sauce on it, and then I realized it's her bloody face.
Sure.
Or we got the man shirt.
Man.
The man. Oh, Andy will probably wear his next time, but tonight,
Yeah.
mine just came in today. I literally ripped
Private
it out.
Hell.
Yeah.
We walked in the
Big
door
Carlo
together, he
got
grabbed the
private.com.
package open, and he's like,
There it is.
What was it? Private
Hell. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
search Private Hell.
Private Hell wrestling
Private Hell
tees.
t-shirts. Yeah.
He has a lot of cool wrestling
Yeah.
tees.
There's a Daniel Bryan one and stuff. They get around the
Yeah.
copyrights.
But it's a really cool shirt. It's a really lightweight
And
material.
it's the what do they call it? The
Soft
heather gray. Or
Yeah.
whatever,
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. They make white, black, and the heather gray, but it's the man shirt. Once again, probably can't get it, but if you maybe you message
Yeah.
them.
I think it's over now.
Yeah, WWE is like not a chance. But
Yeah.
so that's it. That's episode number 2 sweet.
too sweet.
Too sweet.
Too sweet.
Put up. Boom. Boom.
Too
There you go.
Sweet.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Facebook, thank you guys for sticking with us. It was a long one. The only thing I really got on the chat here is DB Craft said CENL. I'm not
Son
sure.
of a bitch. What is
Settle.
Senel?
Cena? John Cena? He's a big
John Cena. Yeah, he loves
fan.
John Cena.
Uh,
Cena?
He's
John
coming
Cena's in a
back. He's
movie
gonna win
with,
the Rumble.
what's his name? Jackie Chan.
Yep. And then he said Ambrose wins the IC title and McIntyre wins the heavyweight. And then he said the Wrestle Talk won. And then Josh Rosinski says, you're not talking about wrestling, but I'm talking about the GOAT, Manitar.
Mantar.
Mantar?
Mantar.
Rod's
Oh,
favorite
Mantar.
wrestler.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
Mantar.
sure.
We
Rod
should
loves-
talk about
he
bad
loves
gimmicks
Mantar.
one time.
Yeah.
Just bring up all the bad gimmicks.
All
Not
right,
now,
here's
folks.
our homework. I'm going to give homework.
Wrestle Kingdom's
For
coming.
not this
Yeah,
one. we'll
Wrestle
say.
Kingdom's coming up. We
I'm
got to
excited.
pause for that.
Yeah, so we're going to talk amongst ourselves once the cameras go off about possibly adding another show to this. But we're going to do that. But we're going to do a little homework lesson. Maybe for the next time all of us get together, we do this. Let's do the top 5, in your opinion, worst wrestling gimmicks of all time.
Okay. Yeah,
And
so
that's
on my podcast, we do our top 5 gimmicks.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So
Can I
top
just
five
list
worst?
all 4 guys that wrestled as Doink the Clown and then one more?
Yeah. So that's something to look forward to. And if you guys have any that are your
Maximum.
worst 5 of all time,
Team
drop them in the
Hopper.
comments. And make sure, guys, please
Cocoon.
give us a like and a subscribe on YouTube. We're at about 41 subscribers. I need to
disasters.
hit 100 to get that custom URL.
Oh,
so I
yeah,
can-
yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
subscribed the other day. 'Cause I
Yes.
didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so if you guys can give a like and subscribe on that, and comment put in the comment section, or leave in the Facebook comments for the live show, your 5 worst
Wow.
gimmicks of all time. All right. Thank you guys so much. Facebook. See you later.
What an ending. Spilled beer on the table.
Stop Audacity then too.